This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 910 of Horse Tip Daily. A different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you, one day at a time. Greetings, horse people. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Today's tip is an excerpt from the Horses in the Morning show. Jumper rider Diane Little joins the Hit'em crew to answer a listener question about keeping your hunter moving forward over fences. And we'll get right to our tip after this important message from EquestrianCollections.com.
Hi, Glenn here from the Horse Radio Network, and I am here with Debbie from Equestrian Collections with our grooming product of the week.
This week I've chosen the Posture Prep Cross Fiber Groomer. And part of the reason I selected it is because this time of the year we don't get to ride quite as often as we do most other types of the year. And this particular item is not just a grooming, it looks like a lot of the different types of groomers that are out there. But this one is different because although they are selling this groomer, it's actually the entire system that they're selling. Because this was designed by a chiropractor, and an equine and human chiropractor, and it comes with a booklet, and it tells you how to use this. This is actually done so that you can warm your horse up a little bit better, keep his muscles in tone just from grooming. I mean, of course, it's not the same as riding all the time, but you can warm him up with this. You can cool him down with this. If you have scar tissue, if you have an injury, you can use this a certain way to help with the scar tissue. It helps break the adhesive scar tissues if you've done it right, and all of the information about how to use this is included when you purchase this groomer. It's something kind of new, and when I first saw it, I thought, well, it looks like any other groomer, but actually when you look into it, it's not. It's an actual system to help your horse's overall health, by stimulating the muscles just by grooming. And this time of year, you can get a little bit, it's not a real workout, but you can get a little bit of stimulus into your horse's body just from grooming them this time of year. And you can use it for an injury that you're working on to get better. So it's just a system, and I think it's really unique and something that people might be looking for, particularly this time of year.
And the price is right. You can head on.
It's $19.95, and for that you get the groomer and a booklet and an introductory membership to the Posture Prep site, so that you can ask questions. And it's just a unique system, and something that I think a lot of people could use, and especially right now.
You can find it all at EquestrianCollections.com. Just search for Posture Prep, and it'll come up at EquestrianCollections.com.
Thank you for joining us again. And I love this topic because said horse that I was describing that is on the Equine Show from Mega Alpha is also the biggest chicken I've ever ridden. We painted a new jump in my arena. Same jump that's been there, but we painted it and he won't go over it. He's terrified of it. And it's the kind of thing where you go cantering up to it and you're like, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. Never mind. So, and I know we had a question about, do you have any jumping exercises for a horse that's not forward enough? Well, I'm just going to sit back and take notes, girl. Take it away.
Well, I thought it was a fantastic question, because I do think that's true. I think that a lot of times you get all these exercises about horses that are too forward to the jumps, how to make them not rush the jumps, when really, honestly, the important thing is how to create impulsion in your horses, how to create energy in your horses. Whether your horse is forward and wants to go to the jumps, or whether your horse is super, super dead quiet, you still need to learn how to create a certain amount of impulsion. You still need your leg on those horses so that they're using their hind legs, they're truly underneath of themselves, and they're kind of carrying them, they're carrying them own self, they're in self-carriage. So anyway, I thought it was a great question. And I think the biggest thing is that you have to make these horses do what they don't want to do. I was watching, and everybody should watch it, I was watching the George Morris Clinic. They have it live stream on right now on USEF, and it is so worth it that to watch. I mean, you don't get opportunities to see somebody like George Morris give a clinic for 6 hours that often. So I was watching it, and one of the things that he said is that a good trainer does what the horse doesn't want to do. You're not mean to the horse, you're understanding to the horse, but you do what the horse does not want to do. So if your horse doesn't want to move forward, well, then from the time that you get on to the time you get off, you create energy. You create impulsion. And the important part to understand is that that doesn't mean run around the ring 10 times in a row each way and then run at the jump. That means learning how to really put your leg on, how to learn how to ride your horses up into the bridle. It means create a hind leg that's really quick, that's really fast, that's really energetic. And that hind leg will stay fast even if you're collected or if you're flat out galloping. So it's all about creating impulsion, and it's all about being very mindful of kind of doing that thing that your horse doesn't necessarily want to do.
So is there exercises? Obviously, this seems like something that, you should practice not in front of a jump to be able to put your leg on and have it respond. I have a horse that's pretty sluggish to my leg too. Do you have exercises that you would recommend?
Yeah, I mean, I would say keep it pretty simple. Keep it simple. Extend down the long side. Then try a little bit of connection on the short side, but make sure that connection isn't slow. Make sure that connection has energy. Start out moving forward. Start out, you don't want to run because you want your horse's muscles to get warm, especially this time of year. But start out with your leg on. Sometimes that's the easiest time to put your leg on because they're not wound up yet if they get wound up. So, keep it simple. Get your leg on. Work them into your hand, into the bridle. I always try to make kind of fun patterns in my arena. I try to do a lot of transitions. I do serpentines. I do circles. I do, kind of anything, lots of counter bending, kind of keep it exciting for the horses. Don't get too repetitious on them, but also don't overthink it. You need them to step in front of your leg. So make them step in front of your leg. Go forward, get them in front of you. Once they're truly in front of you, then try to see what happens if you collect it and try to shorten their steps, but do not lose the energy.
Okay. So then you've got your horse moving in front of your leg. Do you have any over fence exercises that you recommend for this? Do you do gymnastics? What do you do?
This certain thing, in my opinion, is all about flat work. It doesn't have much to do with the jumping. Okay, if you have a spooky horse, if you were saying painted to jump, it gets all weird. You want to then, maybe hop them over a couple jumps a day, real small stuff. Add it in. Once your horse is in front of your leg on the flat, add a couple jumps in. I literally, just got off my horse, who is one of those horses that is either lazy or crazy. There's not much missing. Young, she's 5. She either has this super lazy button or super crazy button. So, I'm constantly trying to find this medium. You want to find this medium canter, this medium trot that has energy, but isn't extremely quick or extremely somewhat out of control. So, I'm constantly trying to find that medium. And once I find it with her, I might hop over a 2-6 fence 4 times at the end of my flat work. It's kind of a good judge on where they're at. It's a good judge on if you really got what you're looking for. But in general, we don't, for something like getting them in front of your leg, that's something that really can't be tackled over fences. That has to be tackled before you start jumping. They need to be there before there's a jump in front of them, because obviously a jump's just going to make it that much harder.
Gotcha. So let me ask, this is going to tell a little bit about you. Do you prefer lazy or crazy, if you had to pick?
Honestly, I'm a leg rider. I like to have my leg on. So I would probably say a little bit on the lazier side than the crazier side. But my mom and I are very close, and she works with me, and she has a super hot adult jumper. And I love riding him in like the meter 20 stuff. It's really fun. He's really bouncy. You know, it's a little bit less intensive on my leg pressure. But the thing about those crazy ones or those hot ones, it's even harder in some ways. You really need to force yourself then to understand that your leg is just as important as on those ones as on the ones that need you to have your leg on just to make them walk, you know? So
it's counterintuitive to put it's counterintuitive to put your leg on a crazy, but they actually kind of need that security. Jennifer, did you prefer lazy or crazy?
I was always a crazy gal.
Crazy. Yeah, definitely crazy.
Yeah. One's like, she rode crazy horses because I have an ulcer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely, please. I got a handful of crazies in my backyard. So. Yeah. So anyway, well, Diane, I appreciate you joining us. Anything else we need to know about jumping exercises for a horse that's not forward enough?
You know, just try to get your focus off the jumping a little bit. You know, try to get your focus on that flat work. Ride as much as you can. You know, if you can get out there 6 days a week, go ahead. And remember that it's going to take time. It's not going to be overnight. It's going to take months of working them into the bridle, working on self-carriage, working them in front of your leg before you might see a change. You know, jump once, twice a week. Or, like we said, if you have a horse that needs to get jumping fit or is a little spooky, jump 3-4 jumps every day. If they're small, basically an elevated canter stride, but it's a good school for them to have to do that on a regular basis. So just try to take your focus away from the jumping. I think that the more people can focus on the flat or just thinking about the in-between, the in-between the fences, what we need there, the more success they're going to have over fences.
Gotcha. Well, Diane, thank you very much. People can find you at Piece by Piece Farm. And is it PEACE first or PEICE first?
PEACE first.
Okay, Piece, like Peace, brother. By Piece, Pick Up the Pieces, farm.com, I believe is the website. And you're on Facebook as well, right?
Yep.
So you can find her there. Well, Diane, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again next month with our next helpful tip. I'm going to go set up some 2-foot jumps and get a good bouncy canter, and I'm going to work on that today.
Yeah, go for it.
Thanks,
you.
Diane.
Thanks a lot.
And that just about takes care of it. To listen to more tips on everything from barn care to websites for horse people, just go to horsetipdaily.com and look for the topics drop-down menu on the left. If you love listening to the Horses in the Morning gang putting in their 2 cents on everything horse, along with fascinating interviews from around the equestrian world, you can tune in every weekday at horsesinthemorning.com. And now you can have every single one of your favorite Horse Radio Network podcasts with you wherever you go with the free Horse Radio Network app for iPhone and Android. Just go to your app store and search Horse Radio Network. And don't forget to support our sponsors here on Horse Tip Daily because they really do make these podcasts possible. This podcast has been brought to you through the generous support of EquestrianCollections.com. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.